All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our weekly Team Passion Zoom call. Welcome. It is February 15th, so thank you. I'm sure many of you had the day off today, maybe. So thank you for getting the kids in bed and getting on this call with us. So, super excited for tonight's topic. We're just going to kind of continue this topic all month long. I think many of you who couldn't join us in person on Saturday were able to watch either the live stream of the event that we had on Saturday, or the recording is up. So it was a 2.5 hour event. There was one hiccup. My computer just decided to restart in the middle of my volume training. But I'm glad that those who weren't able to get there with us, those of you who are out of state, were able to hop on that. And we pretty much do that volume training like every other month. So we will end up doing it again because it's such an important piece to what we do, but it's the hardest piece to get. So one of the hardest pieces to get. So I make sure that we take usually the last half hour of the training and go over that. So I'm sure we will see that again. Really excited that you got to hear from Chrissy and how she talked about owning her business and being the CEO. And I can say all this stuff numerous times, but for you guys to hear real life examples for coaches that maybe weren't owning their business in the beginning but then decided to make that shift, you're going to hear from three amazing ladies who also had that similar experience. So I think me training you on it is good, but then I wasn't really there. I owned my business from day one, and there was no ifs, ands, buts about it. So for those of you who can resonate with Chrissy and then the ladies tonight, I think that just really helps, and I think it gives you more of a peace of mind that, okay, this is normal. I can do this. I can change things. I can put my foot down and draw a line in the sand. From this point on, I am the CEO of my business, and I am going to take this more seriously. So that is the point and the topic of tonight's call, and just kind of the theme of the month. So anytime that you're listening to your personal development or re-listening to calls or even the training, feel free to share in the Team Passion page. Hey, I was talking about owning your business. Here's a little excerpt of what I read today, and here's how I viewed it. So I think the page is turning into a lot of that, which I love. So I know there's a lot of questions that are still in there, and some of them can still be answered by the FAQ. But I love that it's turning into, everyone's sharing some motivation, some tips. I love when some of the leaders or even some of the newer coaches share like a conversation they just had, and they give us the back and forth. Like, that's huge. That stuff is priceless for someone else to see that. So keep doing that, and always, of course, keep it positive and happy in that page. But I really am enjoying that. I love the shape that this page is taking. So if we can kind of continue that for the last 2 weeks of this month and talk a lot about owning your business, owning your life, that would be great. So we are going to start tonight with the lovely Monica Scheralis. She is going to start us off, and let me unmute her. So Monica is a 3-star diamond, and I have known Monica for a couple of years now, since she signed up with Tony a few years ago. We got to know each other kind of early on as moms on the team, and she reached out and just kind of wanted to hear a little bit from me because I'm a mom, so she could relate a little bit. And we have since become dear, dear friends, and I love her to pieces, and I'm super excited for Monica to share her tips on owning the business.
Okay, thank you for having me, Nicole.
Of course.
I wanted to start out by saying that I didn't always have complete ownership of my business, and it may be shocking to some people who haven't known me since the beginning. So I've been doing this for 5 years, and I remember back in 2012 it was, I was very inconsistent with my business. And I was in a really rough spot. I was not hitting Success Club. I was not engaging in anything as far as Beachbody related. I was not active in the team pages. I was not attending meetings. I was not on team calls. I just kind of dropped off and just took a step back. And for me, at that point, I have to say that was one of my darkest moments with this business. And I chalk it up to not believing in myself. And it is so huge when you hear people say, you have to believe. And no, you really do have to believe, because it was belief that got me out of that rut and to the place that I am in now. So let me just backtrack a little bit. So when I finally realized what I was doing to myself and to my business and to my family and to my challengers, I drew a line and I just said, listen, you need to either jump or you need to either get out, because you are doing everyone a disservice, including yourself, by not going for it with your full potential. At that point, I said, I have big goals. I have a huge dream. My dream is to get rid of this awful job that I'm miserable in and do this full time, because this is what makes me happy. And a lot of personal development got me through this too, because at the time I was not obviously doing it, because if I were doing it, I would not be in that dark place. So with the belief system that I had going on with myself and the personal development, it really sought me through and showed me that this is legit. Like this, I can do this. I can do this. I needed to take my business and grow and learn from this and just never look back. So 5 months after making that decision, I was ready to quit my full-time job. It was amazing. Just 5 months in, that's all it took. And it was April of 2013, I was able to quit. That was my quitting point, and I was done with my full-time job, and I had this vision that this is what I'm doing now. This is why I'm here. This is my purpose. And from that point forward, I plugged into everything. I started growing my team. I was more active with my own team. And in that, it just kind of attracted people into my business that were going to be my lifers and the people that wanted this just as much as I did. I have to say that events, and the 3 vital behaviors are huge, obviously, but events is the biggest piece. For me, it was anyway. The turning point in my business, and I have to say our business now, because my husband is very much involved in this business as much as I am. But the turning point was when we went to a event outside of Beachbody. It was Shailene Johnson's Smart Success Academy. That was the biggest turning point for us, because we went to this conference not knowing how we were going to get, what we were going to get out of it. But at the end of the day, we had a 90-day plan. We knew exactly what we needed to do each and every day to get us to the point of his last day of work. And we, getting a little emotional here, we went through the whole 90 days, and by the end of the 90 days, we were ready. We were financially stable there. We had all of our ducks in a row. We knew exactly what we needed to do. And I said, we're doing it. We're going for it. And it was the scariest thing we had ever done, but it was the most amazing thing that we've ever done. I pinch myself every single day and say, is this real life? Is my husband really home every single day? Does he really get to bring the kids to school? Does he really get to pick them up from school? He's there for everything. He doesn't miss a thing. And had I given up back in 2012, this life would never be possible. So by taking the ownership of my own business, because nobody else is going to do this for me, I have to do it for myself. If I want my team to hit Success Club, I have to hit Success Club. If I want my team to do personal development, I have to do personal development. They see what you do, and you have to be the leader that you've always wanted to be, that leader that you envision. You need to be that. You need to act as though you are that. Even if you aren't quite there yet, you need to act as though you are. because people will follow you. People will want to be a part of what it is that you are doing and what you're growing. So I have to say that go to events outside of Beachbody because and find someone that you relate to, because I found that was the turning point with everything. You know, sometimes you can't really afford to do that right away. Save up because it's worth it. It really, really is. Invest in your business because you are going to grow and it's only going to make your business better. So that is pretty much it. I think I have a whole list of notes here, but you know, I just didn't really get to any of them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now things are amazing because I took ownership.
You're good. You have a couple minutes if there's anything else you wanted to jump in. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to find Andrea on here and unmute her, but go ahead.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I can't say enough that you just need to believe that you can do it, because the belief was what did it for me. I'm telling you that if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be here right now. There's just no way. I just would have given up and that would have been it. But I'm glad I didn't and stuck with it and just keep going. Keep going.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Hannah, what is Andrea telling me? She's with you?
Can you do sign language?
What is she saying?
Myself, I said that we had like an outline together. So
there you are. Okay, good. Oh yeah. I'm like, are you together? What is she saying together? I only see Hannah in her tree. I don't see. Okay, there you are.
My shrub.
Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys go ahead. So take it away. We are now going to hear from two-star Hannah and Diamond Coach Andrea, who are huge success partners and best friends. And I was super excited for this topic because I knew them a couple years ago when they were starting the business, and now I know where they are now, and they are completely different people. So really excited for them to share their owning their business story. So take it away, ladies.
Okay, so I'm Hannah, and our story starts back in 2012. I was invited to a shake and share, and I went. In a nutshell, I reluctantly signed up. About a week and a half later, I had my own, and my best friend Andrea dragged her husband there. They were not going to do anything with this business or products. And on April 1st, they signed up. So it was March 18th and April 1st for our start dates. Things for us took off really quickly. I think a way to sum it up is we were really good at selling or sharing like Shakeology, and that was it. We were like, we don't know about challenge groups, we don't know about any of that stuff, but we were really excited, and that kind of spread. I got to Diamond in 29 days, and she got to Diamond in under 2 months. I think it was like 59 days. So things started really quickly. Andrea, do you want to tell some of our problems?
So when we were kind of talking about what we were going to say tonight, I think that when we realized our big shift a year ago, we kind of sat down and discussed what we were doing wrong all these years and what we were going to do to fix them. And a lot of the problems were, well, number one was that we weren't being coaches, like, at all. We were signing people up for a Shakeology, and then it was like, hey, cool, enjoy your shake. Bye. We didn't have a challenge group for them. We didn't have, we had one big team page at the time, and we weren't really plugged into it too much. We didn't really go to events. Hannah went to a couple more than I did. Like she said, we didn't really have anything to invite to. We destroyed our Facebook following because we had our Beachbody links posted all over the place. We were posting shake pictures and Beachbody this and that, and it was just nothing about ourselves. And we just sort of, we ruined basically any relationship that we had going at that point in time. We were not doing personal development at all. Like, we were personally developed and we didn't need it. So we thought, we were so wrong about that. And those were like the main things, I guess, that we kind of discussed that were our issues that we needed to change going forward.
I think too, we were big complainers. We like, Nicole can probably vouch for us. We like, what are we doing wrong? Or I was privileged enough to have one of those one-on-one calls with Nicole every single week, and I would screw it up, or I'd forget about it, or I'd be like, oh yeah, I totally wrote out my goals 5 minutes ago and did nothing about them after that. And it was horrible. And I feel so bad about that, Nicole. So I'm just saying that now. But yeah, we were really, really, really bad coaches back then. I don't know, I guess you want to fast forward to we just had our 1 year anniversary of our little team we formed last year. So February 7th, 2015, after a little talking back and forth, it was mostly Andrea who was like, we got to do this. And I was like, okay. And if we don't do this, we're going to quit by July. So that was like our window of opportunity. And we decided to get the very few members of our team together. We met at a Dunkin' Donuts in a conference room. And basically we were faking it. We were putting on our little show. We're huge into fake it till you make it, because people on the outside aren't going to know your level of success. And if you're confident and you have the belief in what you're doing, they're going to read that, no matter whether you're beginning and just starting out, or if you're quite far along on your journey and you're being very successful. So they're not going to know. You need to do things the right way, but fake it till you make it if you need to, especially if there's any new people on this call. So we made that decision to get together. We were going to fake it till we made it. We decided to form a little team. We were actually putting on challenge groups by ourselves. For a while, we were following Tony's groups, and we kind of got kicked out. I guess that would be the way of putting it gently. He said, you guys, I've had enough of you. You can go out and do it on your own. So we got the boot, and we had no choice but to do it ourselves or quit. So Andrea, do you want to add a little bit to that?
I think that one of the biggest things that we kind of grasped last February was we had to just ditch our upline, and not in a way that we don't want to take advantage of their trainings and stuff like that. That's not what I mean by that. There were people that were above us that were placing people in spots below us, and we were like, why aren't people doing that for us? Or why isn't this so-and-so not placing people on my weak leg? And why isn't she doing this and she doing that? And it's like, no, it's our business. If we want people on our right leg, then we need to put people on our right leg. And the same token, as far as ditching our upline, we also had to take expectation away from our downline to build our business. So we were like signing people up, and then we're like, why aren't they doing anything? Or whatever, our volume wasn't growing enough. And then we realized, well, if our volume isn't growing enough, then we have to add more people to that leg. Like we can't rely on anyone above us or below us to build our business. We just have to keep doing the daily vital behaviors, inviting and forming and doing all those things, and just it will eventually unfold. But you can't wait and rely on other people. And I think that we did that for far too long.
Mm-hmm. So, yes. So I guess I would sum it up by saying if we wanted to succeed, we needed to be the ones to create that success. So, and again, using the tools that your upline provides. Just because, like she said, we ditched our upline doesn't mean we ditched some of the trainings and things that were created for us. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If the work is done and it's done well and it's something that you can share, take advantage of that until you get to a place where then you can recreate it with quality. Some things we started doing a weekly team call, even if there was just like 5 of us on there. We're like, hi guys, and share what we can, what we learned through personal development every week. So that was really cool getting to start to do that. Now we mix and match between really good passion calls. We make all our team jump on there, and then we do our own as well. We started doing sneak peeks, so that was super scary. I even made my poor husband sit in on one. That's another thing I find. Those of you who struggle, do you have support within? I know it's not always easy. Family can be the biggest haters, but having the spouse support, like our husbands aren't doing this business with us, but they're there supporting us. So even though they're not there like on Facebook, and I can't even get my husband to post half the time or do anything to even know people to know that he's there. But just having that support and having them believe in us has helped so much too. I feel like if we didn't have our spouses believing in us, then that would be a big piece missing, and we probably wouldn't be on the same track that we are right now. I think what else we had.
I think another thing too was like, instead of looking at successful coaches and thinking having the mindset of like, who did something for them to help them succeed, whether like, and not realizing that they probably just did it on their own. And instead of having like that drinking the haterade or whatever you want to say, we started reaching out to those coaches. So there's amazing coaches on our team who are doing really well. Why not ask them? They were more than willing to give us outlines or advice or whatever it may be. Whether they're in the downline or above us, people are more than willing to help. And we finally, we just asked. We asked, what are you doing? And instead of just hating on their success, we figured it out and we implemented it into our own business.
Yeah. Big YouTube bingers over here. So whenever you feel lost, and even if you're doing personal development and you still don't feel personally developed enough, YouTube has some pretty awesome stuff. Again, a lot of it's done by other coaches, but you can find audio and things on there too without having to buy it half the time. So when we first started and we were still trying to figure out what that personal development thing was, that was a big go-to for us, was YouTube. I would just sit and fold laundry for like hours on end. I had a new baby at the time, and she would just kind of lay there, and we did our personal development together. I think I probably mentioned this last Saturday, but when we were being asked kind of as the Star Diamond leaders up in the front of the room what we were doing, and the biggest thing in, I guess, taking ownership of your business for me was getting out of the mindset of not feeling embarrassed, but people would ask, oh, what do you do? Or what's that all about? And you almost kind of like, at least myself, I would shy away and be like, oh, well, I'm kind of like a coach for Beachbody, and just be timid about it. And over the last few months, like, it wasn't instant. Like, we were great at faking it till we made it. But this was something that I feel like I finally fell into. And I'm like, you know what? I love this company, and I'm a firm believer in this opportunity and the success that you can create with this and all the things that can come out of it. And just having that belief in what you're doing. You have to believe in yourself, and personal development really helps get you there, and having a great support system can get you there, but you have to believe it for yourself. You can't just leave it to chance. You can't wish your volume to grow. You can't wish to hit Success Club. Like, you have to work really hard to get there. And that's something that I had to do a big mindset change, and it's not pretty every day. My poor husband deals with the emotional roller coaster of what this business can do. But again, read, listen, reach out to your team, to friends, family, and upline, and you'll get your little spirits lifted. Do you have anything to add to that, Andrea?
Yeah, I wanted to say that I fully agree with Monica about events. And so we've been coaches since 2012, like Hannah said, and I had never been to a Super Saturday until last March. And so I had been all those years, and I had never gone to anything. And when I finally went, I cried the entire time. And it was just like, I left there after that, or maybe it was April. I left there after that Super Saturday, and I'm like, I'm never missing a Super Saturday again. Like, what that does for you as a coach and the people that you're bringing with you, whether they're new coaches or prospects or whoever, like, total game changer. So if you're not going to events, it's going to make a huge impact if you start going to them. Even the trainings that Nicole has now, we've been trying to go for the last couple months, and those are amazing as well. So no excuses. Like, I have twin boys and a husband who works around the clock, and I make sure she posts the dates usually of the events or the trainings monthly way in advance, and I make sure that I have a babysitter and a backup babysitter and ducks in a row so I can get to those events. No excuses, just get there.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. I don't know what else to share. I think that's the end of our list. Be consistent. Nicole knows that. The big C, be consistent. I think that was the last thing on my end.
Awesome. Yes, thank you, ladies. And yes, we do have, actually, the entire year is already planned out for all of our events. So teampassiontraining.com events, and all of our monthly events, our Super Saturdays, our sneak peeks, our Zoom call, everything is outlined for you. The 7-day quick start guide, the whole year is done. So yes, you know way in advance for sure when these trainings are. Thank you so much, ladies. I I loved something that I actually forget if it was Hannah or Andrea that just said it, but the fact that waiting or expecting your upline to place coaches under you, love that, because I hear that. I don't hear it as much anymore, but I would hear that from some people. They would send me a message, why isn't so-and-so placing people under me? I'm like, what? Why do you feel that you're entitled to that? Like, how dare you? Like, shame on you. And my coach never placed anyone under me because I quickly took off as a coach and I was super successful. So his leg went crazy because of me. And the same thing happened with Tony. I placed a couple people under him, and when I need to go over to that leg, I do, but not a lot, because he took off and I was like, okay, cool. I don't need to worry about that leg anymore. So I went to the other leg. So so please know that even me, like, I was placed on a leg that my coach had just started. So he was only 6 months in the business, and then he didn't give me anybody. I mean, I've gotten maybe a handful from him, which is fine. But I never expected that. Like, I never expected that. So please, yeah, I loved that point for sure. So what do you guys have for questions out there? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question for any of the ladies, or anything you want to share. So maybe any aha moments that you had either tonight or Saturday or from last week. So yeah, you can just go ahead and hit unmute on your computer or phone, however you're listening, and you can go ahead and ask the question.
To me?
Yeah, sure.
Hi. Hi. I just joined yesterday, so I'm
welcome.
Excited about this. Thank you. Sorry, it's a little dark. I don't know if you can see.
Nope, you're good.
Okay, good. What was I gonna ask? Oh, where do I find the list of? I think I missed that. The list of events and trainings and stuff like that.
Teampassiontraining.com.
Okay.
Yep, and there's a tab that says events.
Oh, okay. I'll look into that.
Yep.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anybody else have anything they want to ask or add? I really love this topic, and I was glad that the month started off with the wake-up call with David Atkins. Please make sure you go back and listen to the national wake-up call that David Atkins did. So it will be on the Team Beachbody podcast, or if you go to your Coach Online office under events, there is a national wake-up call archive. So I don't know if you know that that's there, but there are years of calls that you can go back and listen to. I was on 2 of them, so maybe you can go look for mine. No. But they are all there for you to go and just listen to. So that can be part of your personal development too. Don't make that all your personal development, but you can use that every other day or something and go back to those calls. But the call with David Atkins was really, really good about owning your business. And one of the things that he said that really hit home for me, because I know a lot of the team lets this happen, is when he was growing his business, he shared a story about his mother-in-law passed away. And it was a very quick, she got cancer and 4 months later she was gone. And he was devastated because they were very close, and he could have easily stopped working the business, or he asked himself, what would she want me to do? And so he didn't let life get in the way. And I think that happens a lot with people. They let life get in the way, and the first thing they let go by the wayside is their Beachbody business. And I always say to them when someone does that, I'm like, okay, if you had a 9-to-5 job and something happened in your life, would you be able to just stop working your 9-to-5 or take off a month? You know, chances are no, right? So if something happens in your life and then you have to go back to work like that next day or the next week, this Beachbody business shouldn't be any different. This should actually take precedent over anything else, because this has the power to change the future for your family. So make sure, I know it's hard and I know things happen. I totally get it. But you have to make sure that this business is a priority for you and for your family. And I put on the Team Passion page today, I know some of you don't really, many of people get in this for the money aspect. Like they see that right after, I want to quit my job, I want to retire my spouse, like all of that. But there are some of you on the team that don't. Your spouses, or you make buco money and you're like, good, this is just kind of fun for you. But you have to find that why that is going to drive you every day. So if you don't really need this money, chances are you're going to let this go by the wayside. So you have to make sure this Beachbody business is your priority, and you have to find out how that's going to happen. So whatever that why is for you, make sure you find it. And I know, regardless of if, you or your husband or both of you or, are making 6 figures and beyond, there's still something that Beachbody can do for you and your family and your future, so for some extra security. I love looking for people who are entrepreneurs, who are like real estate agents or people who own their own business. I love looking for them to do this too, because they are always looking for multiple streams of revenue. We should never have all our eggs in one basket. Nothing's ever secure. Nothing's ever safe. So you should always have a couple streams of revenue coming in. And this is Beachbody is a great way to do that. So I hope this was helpful. The girls were amazing, so I can't see how it wouldn't be. But make sure that you are doing everything that they say. Make sure you're putting, I also love that they put their pride and their ego aside, and they were like, okay, we need help, so let's figure this out. And then they were like, okay, let's go and let's talk to successful coaches and ask what they're doing, instead of, hating on them and being like, why are they more successful than me? Like, instead of whining about it, they did something about it. So that is huge. And it's time for you to just take this business by storm. This business is here for the taking. It is all up to you. I can't, I sat here today just thinking, I can't even believe that this has been 5.5 years and what this has done for me. I saw someone posting, just got out of work, heading to the gym, and it was like 6 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. So just know that this business is here for you. Know that we are here for you. The Team Passion System for Success, go and listen to that Zoom call. We have it all outlined for you on exactly how to make this business work. You guys know I am an open book. I will tell you all of my secrets, which really aren't secrets, but if you want to call them that, okay. But I will tell you exactly how to do this. I will never, ever, ever ask you to do something that I have never done. Please know that. I said that again on Saturday. As I lead from the front and I lead by example. So I won't tell you to go do a super scary business invite and then be like, oh, I wonder how that's going to work. Like, right? I've done it. I know what's going to happen. I know that you're going to succeed at it. And I've done everything that I've ever asked you to do. So, and I promise there will be no blood. There may be some tears. So that's part of the journey. So enjoy the ups and downs. Enjoy the roller coaster and just own it, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you so much, ladies. Good night, everyone.
Bye.